Guys, Matt Manduke, and I'm actually not angry today. I'm still like supercharged and wired. But today's episode is the walkthrough of my van again because I did a major upgrade. I changed the bed, and so I'm gonna flip the camera around so we can walk around and actually see the things that I did change things. Now, if you're watching this and you haven't watched the original van walkthrough, then you're not really going to see it as changes. But I'm not going to do all the front seat because all the electronics and all that stuff, that's all the same right now. And I am planning on changing some of that stuff. This is my pile of junk that I don't know what to do with, more or less. I'm constantly messing with it. It's all the stuff that I have to keep out and, whatnot. But, yeah, so now I moved where the subwoofer is, and you can see my amplifier, the Mini D1000. It's right there. And you can see my inverter, which I mounted below it. That's actually on a door. That's where the fuse box is for the stuff in the back. Haven't had to get into that yet, so I'm not really worried about it. But the inverter is Velcroed to that door, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Obviously, I got a couple loose wires, but the one thing is the blender that's right there. The other thing is the laptop, which comes and goes. Obviously, I keep my shoes right there. They're just dress shoes and backup shoes, and the bucket that I use for all sorts of things, but mainly to poop in. Good thing I haven't done that video yet. I moved the subwoofer underneath the bed, which I'm thinking about maybe getting a more powerful subwoofer because that's only the second tier of earthquake, so I'm thinking about jumping up to the third tier for better bed vibration. And what actually changed here is that oh, I didn't know I had that on. I guess I can pull the bucket out. So I changed the bed, and all that is I got 2x4 or 4x4s on each end. 2x4s squeezing them, and 2x4s across holding the mattress. Not a hugely complex bed frame, but I got it tall enough where I can fit this big cooler underneath, so that so that the coolers fit underneath. And I was in there earlier. I had it so it was at least flush, but whatever. I can pull the cooler out and mess with things. The cooler's only on when the vehicle's running. I already explained all this stuff in other videos, so you guys can just watch the rest of the van walkthrough videos. But yeah, so I got almost everything, with the exception of the shoes, the blender, and the miscellaneous crap in the front. Almost everything's under the bed or in the compartments at the top, which is phenomenal for me because now I actually have space in here, and I have a full-size mattress. Now, the only downside to this bed, as opposed to that one that's way over there, the bench, is that the space in between the mattress and the ceiling is less. But let's face it, I have space here, and I might end up getting an air mattress to go in this space if I need the extra space for like doggy style. But I don't think I necessarily do. Now, what I'm actually, the other thing I changed is where I got the handicap lift removed. I had some holes in the floor. So what I did was I took this hose, or I took this funnel, I attached it to a hose, and I ran the hose down through the holes for the bolts for the handicap lift. What that is my urinal. So whenever I have to pee, I don't have to get out of the van, nobody has to see my stuff, and I can pee on the ground, which is useful. Now, I do flush water through that after I pee, that way it's not stinking up the van. It has been outrageously warm for December here in southern New Jersey. Yeah, so on either side of the bed, I have clothes. On one side, I got my clean clothes. On the other side, I have my dirty clothes. Try not to let the dirty clothes get out of hand, because I don't want that to be an issue with my bed. I don't have a sheet yet, but that's because I bought the mattress for 1 week and I built the frame this week, so next week I'll get sheets. But next week's like Christmas shopping, so maybe not until the week after. But yeah, so now I have all this space in the van, and I have enough space where I can actually do stuff on the bed, not just hang out. My original build, I was a little closer to the ceiling, and I had to modify that. I'm not going to show you all the stuff that's in the back behind the initial front row, but the stuff in the front row was all stuff that I have to get to all the time. Everything in the back is stuff that I don't have to get to all the time, but I do want to build a shelving system underneath to hold the stuff that I don't need to get to all the time, because there's a lot of stuff and it's kind of a mess from where, you know, it's a well, where it's a vehicle and it moves, stuff shifts. So I want to build stuff to actually divide it all and fix it. I removed the handicap lift, the hydraulic pump. That's where my extra battery is going to go whenever I can find 12-volt wire that's long enough to go from the front to the back of this thing, which is apparently a problem. I don't know why. Girl in Dollar General in Laurel Lake was trying to say that she's really good for finding where things are, and I'm like, oh, I'm looking for 15 volt or 15 feet of 12-volt wire, and she tried to explain to me how to use a search engine. I'm like, I can code a search engine. Like, what the fuck is the internet? Really, that blew my mind. But thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later.